time, weather, and
Audio Jungle.
Welcome to my channel. Today I truly appreciate you being here. I really do. Today I just want to talk about silver stacking bearing a cost. More of an emotional cost than a monetary cost in many ways. Stacking silver has been one of the worst investments of my entire life, if you were to ask any of the people I used to call friends or acquaintances. I started stashing away silver at $40 an ounce. As I got on my daily soapbox, I would warn everyone of the upcoming world events. All the while, the spot price of silver just kept declining. Well over a year ago, I convinced others to purchase their own silver, which they did. Each and every one of them has quote-unquote lost money and literally got annoyed with me. So much to the point that I rarely have conversations with them anymore. I may be the crazy person, but I don't think so. I also do not believe that they are crazy, as much of what they are having is they're being manipulated by whomever is writing the script that is used in mainstream media today. For me, silver is still the greatest financial opportunity of my life, probably for you too. But you have to look beyond silver and the cost it can ask of your life. In the last 2 years, life has been very eventful for me. The biggest event was the passing of my wife of over 20 years. She was the one who started me on this silver journey by buying me my first ounce of silver. A few months before the passing of my wife, I lost my job. As with most of my life, I continued to feel like I never really fit in at a place where I had to earn a living. I really hated where I worked when I got fired. I awoke every day in my home alone, and despite my feelings, the sun still rose every day. My friends of those days thought I was over-the-top crazy. I no longer speak with many of the old friends, but they never call me back despite repeated attempts by myself to stay in touch. I was forgotten and no longer needed, so people just stopped calling and texting. I used to think they were friends. Stupid me. Today I feel like Sarah Connor in the movie The Terminator. I see what is coming economically, and when I try to shout it to the world, I become the clown.
7, November 10. Where was I? What's most difficult for me is trying to decide what to tell you and what not to.
I have a very dear friend that holds a lot of funds in the bank that is now on credit standing review. She said I am always negative, and she did not want any bad vibes in her life. This response sickened me physically, as I feel like Sarah Connor because people I care about won't listen to the warnings. Banks continue on their downward trajectory, but it currently is only happening somewhere in the twilight zone, apparently. I love the analysis of being on a train track and merely needing to step off these tracks so as not to get squished by the train. It saddens me to watch so many of my friends and family ignore my warnings and regard me as being slightly off. My brother even asked me to stop buying silver and commodity stocks as it was a waste of money.
Boy, that's a tough one.
It saddens me to know that so many people I care about are about to be wiped out financially simply because of what I learned to be normalcy bias. It is sad because no matter what I say, they simply do not see the train coming. I try to explain to those individuals that fixate their attention on the daily price of silver that they are looking in the wrong direction. A person I know texted me that they lost money on the 20 ounces of silver they purchased. I could easily say shut the hell up and how they should spend some time learning about the history of silver. I could even discuss how the US dollar has only been around a bit over 100 years, less than 50 years in its current form. We could look at how depressed the entire mining industry is price depressed because of the current pricing situation of silver. We could talk about how mines cannot continue to operate at a loss year after year. We could even explore the potential of what a small investment could yield. But sadly no, we are too concerned with the price of silver right now. Screw macroeconomics and actually learning to invest. They do not want to hear anything that does not make them wealthy by next Tuesday. If a person were to spend some time on self-education to understand what the Federal Reserve is all about, they would wake up. The truth is, people worry about the daily price of silver because they are lazy. They do not want to actually be accountable for themselves and absolve all personal responsibility by merely saying, I am tired. I worked 50 hours for someone else. And so they do not have the time to spend on something that could actually benefit themselves in ways unimaginable. I think this is similar to people wanting to be a healthy weight, but they're willing to settle for obese and do nothing about it and then have some external complaint as to why. Instead of fixating on the daily price of silver, why not look at the storm that is coming? Yes, I know you have been told that the economic storm just never seems to arrive. If you only listen to the big news outlets, you are living in a fantasy world. Every story that comes out on whatever channel you watch is pumping propaganda straight to your screen. Not too long ago, while on a treadmill, I had 56 television screens in front of my face. There were some news stories up there with CNN and Fox News at the same time, side by side. Twice I watched the tagline on the screens aligned to the same message on both channels at almost the exact same time. If you do not see the media alignment, you are not paying attention. Today, the media is attempting to drive the narrative, and within that attempt are the people that are truly in power. Macroeconomics is warning of a tsunami, and yet people are still planning a trip to the beach. What the hell? People are only fixated on the daily price of silver and are ignoring the wall of water off in the distance. A friend of mine disputed with me that he does not worry about it because it will not happen in his lifetime. He has no doubt that the financial storm will happen, but just not now. I can do nothing more than smile and have another rum and coke because I know one day he will kick himself. Instead of trying to time the market, you need to run against the mainstream until it inevitably happens. For some weird reason, people love to only buy silver and mining stocks after they start to go up in value. Once the run starts is when they get in. This is called the dumb money. So when is the silver price going to blast off? When are the mining stocks going to break out of their massive price slump? I have the same answer every time. I don't care. If you knew a massive 100-year cycle storm was coming to your home, would you go shopping for a new television? Would you look at your watch and say, I think we have time to stop for a coffee? Or would you immediately start packing up what mattered most to you? As time allowed, you would gather your possessions and start to move them away to a safer area. Of course, you would repeat this movement of valuables until the storm passed. So you see, I ignored the day-to-day price nonsense of silver because when the storm arrives, I know just how important it will be. I know that the entire commodity mining sector has the potential to take off like something that has not been seen for generations. The financial gain is going to be so significant that to currently do anything else pales in potential. I know that when that day happens, today, tomorrow, or next year, I know the seeds of investments planted now will provide me with the wealth that my family lineage would never see otherwise. I have nothing but gratitude in my heart that there is still time to prepare. I am grateful when the prices get beaten down yet again. I could bore the average person with the history of fiat currency, but that's a boring subject to virtually everyone. I know many people think I am nuts, but that is okay, because I will be sitting on the roof of my car watching the masses get swallowed up by the storm coming. Me and mine will be safe. My biggest regret is that I tried and failed to wake up those that I care about. They will be so busy looking at the daily prices of silver that the train will run them over before they get a chance to step off the tracks. Don't let that be you. Semper Fi.